Now, Buddhism starts with Buddha. And who Buddha was, well, let's clarify some things. Buddha is simply just a title. It just means the awakened one, enlightened, stuff of that nature. So, Buddha is basically a title, but when we say Buddha or the Buddha, we're referring to Siddhartha Gautama. I think I pronounced his name right. Probably didn't. So Siddhartha Gautama was an Indian prince long ago. Side note, it is said that when he was in a previous life, he was just a bodhisattva, or I believe I pronounced that right too, that he said that he was going to reach enlightenment in the next lifetime. So I wouldn't say he planned, well, you could say he technically planned where he was be born or something like that, but he did claim that in the next lifetime he's going to be free and reach nirvana and become enlightened. So that happens, right? And so when Buddha became around 30, he starts to become very curious about the world, since he throughout his whole life he lived in the kingdom. You know, the king, his father didn't want him to know any types of suffering, anything, stuff like that. If I remember correctly, this by memory, he's seen the elderly, he's seen someone who was sick, and he's seen death. And when he's seen those three things, he started to question, like, and this is his people too, this is within the kingdom, you feel me? So he's like, why? What's the point? Why are they suffering? And that really caught on to him. He wanted to know why suffering. He wanted to know the answer. He wanted to find the cure to suffering. He basically threw away his old life, you know, stripped his status, you know, left his family and stuff like that. Also, he did have a wife, and they were gonna have a kid too, and he left them. But his wife understand. I'm gonna explain that in another video. But yeah, he left everything behind to reach enlightenment. So the first couple years, I believe it was gurus, but he met this tribe of people who were, you could say, trying to reach enlightenment too, but in a different way, relieve them from suffering. It was very extreme, you know. He would like fast, like when I say fast, he would like not eat at all and stuff like that. Meditate. That was a big thing. So he started doing that for a couple of years, and starts to realize, like, I'm not getting nowhere. You feel me? Like, what is the point of all this? Like, nothing's working. So I'm gonna fast forward to some parts. And when that happens, he falls into a lake, you know, yada yada. He's so weak and stuff like that. And then he rests next to a Bodhi tree. A lady from the nearby village, I believe, came and gave him some yogurt. And then when he ate the yogurt. He ate the yogurt, and he was like, I understand it now. Then he sat next to that Bodhi tree and meditated. I think he meditated for like 40 days a night straight. And after he got out of that meditation, he became enlightened. He was he awoken, basically. He became Buddha at that time. So, yeah, now I'm probably exaggerating when he said he ate the yogurt. You understand it now. But the thing is, one of the main principles that you're going to learn in Buddhism is attachment, ego. And desire isn't a bad thing, but he was attached to it, this so-called enlightenment, and try to see what can end suffering, that he wasn't able to attain it. But when he took that simple small break and like, okay, I'm gonna eat this, you know, very simple but very impactful at the same time. And this is a good example because he was going too extreme. Like the stuff he was doing is too extreme. And then now how he lived before, you know, when he was a prince and everything, he didn't really do too much. Like, he had everything, you know. When I say he had everything, so he didn't really do too much. But it's this middle ground that he found, like this middle way, and he created the middle way, which is basically not too extreme, but at the same time, not nothing or absence. It's just in the middle. And at the moment, that's what created the middle way. And he became the Buddha. He started preaching his teachings, going around teaching everyone when he walked the lands. And he had, monks and people who looked up to him and stuff like that. Yeah, he just taught other people what he discovered throughout his lifetime. And one of the key aspects of his teachings was that he wasn't trying to tell people that this is the only way, sort of say. He wasn't trying to say disregard all your beliefs, all your culture to follow me. He simply taught what he found, and he wanted those teachings to help you and to see that you too can escape suffering, Yeah, he didn't want to be worshipped, he was just a teacher, really. And a great teacher, the greatest teacher of all time. So he died years later. Now he was in Nirvana, so it's 2 stages of Nirvana. I'm gonna discuss about that. But he was in Nirvana when he awakened, and then when he died, he was at the final stage of Nirvana. And yeah, a few years later, you get Buddhism, the official religion. Hopefully, this first introduction of Buddhism was at least easy for you to understand, because it does get complicated. Really, this religion and practice does get complicated, but don't beat yourself up over it. It's okay. At the end of the day, as long as these teachings help you and you just read more, just meditate and stuff like that, you'll get used to it. You start to understand more. You get to start to understand some of the concepts like emptiness, no self, stuff like that. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Peace.